What's up, guys? Yuki Dragon here. Yeah, I'm to talk about Are Disaster Dragons dead? Well, let me say straight up, yes, they are. We never see them at tournaments. You never see them in DN. You never see them anywhere. All because of the September 2012 ban list that just came out this year. Everyone just dropped disaster builds, and they were one of the top decks out there. One of them, anyway. They were really devastating. I could tell you that much. So yeah, ever since Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon has been limited to one, and Future Fusion was hit, people didn't even see the point of running a disaster deck. Of course, as you may have watched my other YouTube videos, I used to run a disaster build as well, but I moved on to heretics. Well, heretic slash disaster build. I'm still running disasters technically. So anyway, this is actually my second video doing this because I've been interrupted multiple times through people who keep bothering me. My girlfriend, and then all of a sudden my parents want to use the laptop, for Christ's sake. And yeah, so hopefully this will be my last take on this video. Otherwise, I'm gonna shank somebody. Nah, just kidding. But anyway, yeah, so I decided to think one day, how can I make disasters come back again? How can disasters sprout up to be one of the top decks out there once again? Well, I decided to make a deck profile on DN, and I thought really hard about it. I figured, what can I do to help disasters come back from the dead and rise up to be one of the most strongest decks out there. Now, technically, I'm not making this video to make disasters come alive. I don't want you guys taking a risk and purchasing all these cards. Oh, I'm going to a tournament because this guy said, they're not dead, But anyway, this is just what I think that could make disaster decks come back. I found ways that I can probably still derp my opponent, because yeah, I do miss my disaster build a lot ever since it died, and watching YouTube videos, people getting ticked off about disasters becoming dead and blah blah blah. So yeah, that's why I decided to make this video of disasters. So anyway, let's just get on to the deck profile. Of course, we have one Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Now, this is your key card, and of course, this was always the key card in the disaster build, but this has to be your main key card, okay? You're gonna have to dump this card as fast as you can into the graveyard, as fast as you can. Once you dump this card into your graveyard, you pretty much have a good set of reviving and spamming and derping. So you're gonna have to dump Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon as fast as you can, and I'll show you how to do that later on. And perhaps this deck can be a little like in a way it'll kind of match up to the speed of bringing out Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon to a Chaos deck and a Heretic deck if you know how to use this deck properly. So yeah, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, your key monster to winning this duel. You must revive him multiple times in order to win, so you're gonna have to look out for cards like Macrocosmos, Dimensional Fissure, but that's why I put Trap Row Hate, a lot of Trap Row Hate in this deck, kind of. And yeah, try to get rid of Macro as soon as you can, and Dimensional Fissure, because if your Red Eyes gets hit by that card, you're gonna have a hard time struggling back. So yeah, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, can't go wrong with it. You dump him in your grave as fast as you can, summon it as fast as you can, and just mass the shit out of your opponent. Okay, 3 Lad. I know that's kind of clunky, but it's worth it. Trust me, I'll show you why 3 Lad is good in this deck. Lad is a very good card. It controls the field really well. Your opponent will do something stupid just to get rid of it. They'll -3 themselves or -2 for themselves just to get rid of this Lad. And not only that, once you do dump a Red Eyes Metal Dragon into your graveyard, and then it's a good way to recycle him when Lad leaves the field. So and plus it's really good drawing into him, and I'll show you why. And of course you got 3 Koikimeros. This card is very good. It's like a mini Lad. It puts a good lockdown to your opponent. It puts a lockdown to Dark Worlds. Puts a lockdown to Heretics and any such as Lightsworns and stuff like that. So yeah, and plus it's a 19 beat stick. You can't argue with that. Just collide with a Thunder King, bam, you know, and stuff like that. It's very good, trust me. And yeah, and of course, two Red Eyes Wyvern. Once you dump your Red Eyes into the graveyard and Wyvern removes from the field, hey, look at that! You get to bring back our Red Eyes Metal Dragon. So that's another way to revive Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon through a lad and through Red Eyes Wyvern. So very good, very good. And I'll show you how to dump Red Eyes in a bit. And of course, one Delta Flyer, only one run. Nah, sorry, fuck. Only run one Delta Flyer. This deck pretty much only needs one because you have your Mass Barricade here to help bring them out into your onto the field. Let's say if my opponent attacks into my Mass Barricade and probably like the fourth hit coming, and that can probably stall out, or like the third hit coming, sorry, and then you could special summon your Delta Flyer onto the field, and then probably synchro into any of these monsters, go into a level 6, or go to a level 6, 7, or 8 if you draw into these cards. So that's why I think one Delta Flyer is good enough, and plus it kind of reduces the speed into the deck if you add in 2, so it's pretty much well good. Of course, 3 Mass Dragon, I love this card. This is the card I'm running in my Heretics Last Disaster build. I love Mass Dragon. It sets up a barricade for your opponent. You know, you're plussing yourself when they attack into it. It's very good. And of course, 2 Dread Dragon. Dread Dragon could go with Mass Dragon. Just set Dread Dragon, add a Mass to your hand, and set up a barricade for your opponent. You're just plussing yourself when they attack into this, so why not, you know? And plus, Dread Dragon could probably go into stuff. Let's say if you have a Dread Dragon already on the field, and then you have a Koikimira, you could go into a rank 6 into an Iron Chain or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty good. And one Exploder Dragon, just one. The deck only needs one. You know, I'm trying to make this deck as fast as possible to match up to Windups and Six Samurai and other fast decks out there. And yeah, and plus sometimes but maybe your monsters won't be able to get through other opponents' boss monsters. So that's why Exploder Dragon fixes that problem. And of course, one Apocalypse, one way to recycle your Red Eyes if your opponent attacks into a Mass Dragon, you know, and then just like the same setup for Delta Flyer, and just set them up for Apocalypse. Hey, if Apocalypse, and then if you get to the third attack and then your opponent doesn't get by a fourth attack, you go into Apocalypse, discard a card, and then recycle your Red Eyes, which will absolutely devastate your opponent. And of course, 3 Totem Dragon. I know people are saying 3 Totem Dragon is kind of clunky. No, it isn't. This is why I'm saying it's really good to draw into Lightning Darkness Dragon. If you have a Totem Dragon in your graveyard and you draw into a Lightning Darkness, this could really, really turn the tables for your opponent. You could lock your opponent down. And not only that, I'll show you ways to dump Totem Dragon. After you dump your Red Eyes into your graveyard, you just start dumping totems into your graveyard. And I'll show you how just in a second. And now here is the main change in the disaster build that I made was Dragon's Ravine. Now, Dragon's Ravine, I would put it to 3, but you really have to draw into this Dragon's Ravine. So that's why I added in a Terraforming. Of course, if you add in 3, it'll be really dead. It'll be really dead, a really dead draw. Not only that, you know, it'll be kind of clunky. So that's why I recommend 2 Dragon's Ravine. Now, why Dragon's Ravine? Well, this Dragon's Ravine could set up your opponent really badly. Let's say if I already have, let's say I played Dragon's Ravine, I discard a lad that cannot be brought out and stuff like that. He's useless. And then I already have a Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon in the graveyard. Let's say I already used Foolish Burial, and just start dumping totems. Or let's say for the duel just began, discard any card, dump a Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Hopefully you'll draw into try to bring out your Latent Darkness Dragon and your Red Eyes Wyvern, and of course other revival cards as well. But if you do already dump a Red Eyes Darkness Dragon in the game as soon as you can could just start dumping totems and just waiting to draw into these guys and just straight fuck shit up. And of course, yeah, these are the main changes into the deck. This is pretty much your how should I say, your Eclipse Wyvern and your Autumn for Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, which is very good. And of course, 3 staples, pretty much self-explanatory. I don't really want to get into these. Yeah, every deck must run these 3 staples. And 2 Pot of Duality, just for you know, draw checks. You know, sometimes if you have a bad hand, Pot of Duality can help you fix that next draw. And 1 Dragon's Mirror if you want to mess things up for overpower, and I run Dragon's Mirror in my Heretic Size Disaster build, and plus you're going to be dumping cards with Dragon's Ravine to your graveyard. Sometimes it's pretty much a last resort card, and not only that, it could turn the tables really bad for your opponent. And trust me, I always go with Dragon's Mirror, and it should always be played in every Dragon deck. And you can disagree, I don't give a shit. You know, 2 Swords of Revealing Light, because sometimes you have to stall in order to win. You're going to have to stall as much as you can. You're going to have to set up your combos. You're going to have to wait to draw into Dragon's Ravine. And yeah, sometimes you will get into a dead hand draw sometimes. So you're going to have to stall as much as you can. And of course, I'm going to be running 2 Swords of Revealing Light in my main deck as well, because this card is very good. I don't see why nobody runs these cards, but I would run our Swords of Revealing Light for extra 12. Of course, triple back row hate, get rid of that pesky macro, of course, and triple Call the Haunted. Once you set up your Red Eyes into your graveyard, bam, he's back. And 2 Torrentials just in case if any deck tries to overswarm you, Torrential will just get rid of that problem. Anyway. So the extra deck, of course, is pretty much typical. Like, of course, if you get pissed off at your opponent, if he's swarming you too much, Max C, Feck Veiler for that extra support, Gores, all hand traps right here that can help out the disaster build. And of course, if you go up against pesky Dark World, just add in double Bottomless, double Imprisoning Mirror. And if your opponent is way overswarming, if these Torrentials are not add double Mirror Force, you know, Forbidden Lance just for the hell of it, and Light Imprisoning Mirror if you're going up against like I know, Light Sworn and stuff like that, and Heretics, and of course the typical disaster extra deck, one 5-headed dragon, and Ancient Fairy Dragon. I can't wait till this card comes out, man. I'm just gonna replace my Ancient Fairy Dragon into my Heretic Disaster, but this card is so broken. Love this card. And plus, you might have a Dragon's Ravine on the field. You know, you could go crazy with this card. Trust me. And 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon, 1 Black Rose, just blow up shit. Love this card. And 1 Ancient Exploder Dragon Wing, 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Stardust Radiance. Personally, I'm going to do a video of this pretty soon, comparing Stardust Radiance Dragon to the original Stardust Dragon. So I can't wait to do a video of that, which one's better versus. And Iron Chain Dragon, and Stardust Dragon, Red Dragon Archfiend for defense, and Leviath for your, maybe you could overlay for double Exploder, and Queen Dragon Jin, Gachi Gochi Dragon, and Thunderspark Dragon, and Ouroboros Dragon. Yeah, so there it is. So this is my disaster dragon build. I'm going to test this out right away on DN, see how it goes. And yeah, I just want to make this video because maybe you know, someday I want to influence other disaster players to get out there more often. So I'm gonna test this deck right away and see how it goes. I'm pretty sure this deck will kick ass. So yeah, this is Yugi Dragon here. Tell me what you think. Like, comment, subscribe if you like, and peace out.